Cartoons can be pretty wild, especially their hilarious logic. Like SpongeBob here literally taking a bath underwater. Now we need to get all the way to level 100. This is only level 1. Drowning fishes. How cool is that? This is now the craziest thing I've ever seen. First of all, Patrick's outfit is completely on backwards, just so you know. Why is SpongeBob wearing a top hat? And literally the fish are sobbing as they don't know how to swim. This is like hurting my brain. So Mr. Krabs is coming out. We got no water in the pool. He is very upset. And what is this $1? Are you having to pay $1 to even use this unusable pool? What are SpongeBob's sleeves attached to? I have always wondered this one, actually. Maybe the holes on the sponge are like caressing the like shoulder pad and keeping it on. It's weird if you look at it because his shirt is here, but the arms are all the way up here. They're like not even attached. He had to buy them in 2 pieces. Excuse me, sir. You're sitting on my body, which is also my face. So many questions. How is the ice cream standing up? Why is Plankton just standing here letting this happen? How did this fish not see SpongeBob and just choose to sit on him? Is SpongeBob saying his whole body is just a face? That's confusing. Also, wouldn't a watch get damaged underwater? I think the answer is yes. How is the logic going to get even crazier? This is just the beginning. I used to love Arthur. It was one of my favorite shows. Put it in the comments if you've watched it as well. They did this to Arthur also. We saw it in my last video when I reacted to Cartoon Logic. How is he hearing it through his skull? Huh? He should be hearing it up here in his ears. Maybe that's why he looks upset. Maybe he hears nothing. If only Brian could reach the pedals. Okay, so Brian is a dog, obviously. Dogs do not know how to drive cars, but Brian is definitely like as tall as Stewie the baby. So Brian's probably like this tall, right? He can't reach the pedals and they don't even acknowledge it. This seems illegal. For one, if I saw a dog driving a car, I would probably call the cops. Goofy is a dog whose best friend is a mouse who has a dog. Because Goofy is like, what kind of dog is Goofy? And then like Pluto's like a dog, like a real dog. It barks, it doesn't talk. But like Goofy is able to. Who knew a mouse and a dog could be such best friends? I mean, I will say Pluto doesn't seem bothered by the fact he can't talk, so at least he's happy. Clothes change at 12 o'clock. Glass slippers still glass. This has always gotten me. So the only reason that the prince knew who Cinderella was because of a shoe. Like, he doesn't remember her face. He doesn't remember her personality or anything about her other than her foot. But if everything, including like the pumpkin carriage, the dress, her hair, everything goes back to normal, why is this one shoe left? I think the creators of Cinderella just didn't care. They needed the shoe to be part of the story. It doesn't make sense, but they needed it to carry the storyline through. Graphene. Graphine? I'm the most flexible material. Tom and Jerry, they look like the most flexible material. I have not seen this episode of Tom and Jerry. I sure do like Tom and Jerry. How about you like this video if you like mice and subscribe if you like cats? I need to know, did Jerry swallow a tent and then Tom swallowed a fridge? Like, why did this happen? What doesn't kill you deforms your body. Now, here's the thing. I'm okay with this. This logic doesn't make sense, but it makes me happy because we would all be sad if Tom perished, right? I mean, never, ever, ever, ever go inside or under a piano because it wouldn't work this way. But I mean, Tom pulls up the whole like flat vibe. Cartoon Logic, Plankton. All right, there's a lot going on. So Plankton obviously is a prisoner. He's wearing like a prison shirt. He has a nail file he's able to hold up even though it's like 5 times larger than him. But the strangest part is, couldn't he just walk on out of this cell? But instead he's chosen to do hard work. I guess we can respect the grind. Okay, yeah, this does not make sense. First of all, when you're in like an illegal situation, do you get handcuffed together? I have never seen the police put handcuffs between 3 people. Nevertheless, 3 fish, and the Plankton is literally like a gymnast right now. That is not gonna work. You could literally put them in like a little Tupperware or something. This just seems to be a thing that cartoons do, just like Zazu from Lion King, the rhino and Simba. I guess it just depends on the vibe of the episode. Like some episodes of SpongeBob, he's like buff or he's wearing the inflatable suit. There's like no in between. What if this episode with the soda was, you know, before the bottom one? So he's like super buff now. Wait, nope. Definitely the same episode. They're wearing the same outfit. Yep, can't logic that one. Now I'm confused by this in general, but Marge is currently pregnant. But Maggie was definitely born before season 6. There's something not really adding up here. Like, there's already a photo. This is Maggie. She's already born on the wall. So, like, who is this secret baby? The Flintstones is based on the Stone Age. See, that's why they got stones for seats. TVs were not invented for like 12,000 years after this show. How are they watching baseball? Was baseball a sport during the Stone Age? I doubt it. I think the creators of the show probably just liked baseball and they wanted to work this scene in. Hero. It's gonna take a long time to find the villain's lair. The villain's lair. Now, this could not be more accurate. They always stand out, but here's the thing. Trouble always lies along the way. So say you're Spider-Man, right? And you're like flying around the city. Well, somebody's gonna attack you and you're gonna have obstacles. I'm trying to rationalize these things, and it's really hard to do. I won't lie. First of all, I don't need to see Phineas kissing anybody. That just feels wrong. Isn't he like 2 years old? Like, where are their mouths in this situation? I mean, they kind of align, right? I mean, even how they're hugging each other is very uncomfortable. Honestly, I'm gonna go to the next slide because I don't like this. The logic is weird. The scene is weird. This is unnecessary. Cartoon characters when they smell pie. What's wrong with that? I mean, everybody loves pie. It's like a little slice of heaven. This actually makes sense to me. Although, like, floating away doesn't fully make sense. But who loves pie? Cartoons are so unrealistic. Meanwhile, real life. Let's just be honest, that cat kind of looks like a bowling pin. You see it in this, right? Like, there actually is a comparison that can be made. Cartoon characters with glasses on, cartoon characters without glasses. That is so true. Their face partially disappears. Their eyes are very they shrink. I don't know why. They also make it look like a disguise. Like, you can't recognize the character anymore. Anime does this too a little bit. I don't fully understand. Maybe the glasses are their superpowers. Been trying to hunt a rabbit all day. Gets upset when he finally shoots him. Here's the thing. It is sad. I think, him being upset makes sense. What makes less sense to me, actually, is Bugs Bunny. Why is he following directly behind somebody who is trying to hunt him? I think he's the one who makes no sense here. Chris says IDK. Being shy in a cartoon, being shy in real life. That is so true. In real life, if you're shy, like, you're quiet, you kind of like want to hide in the back. You're just kind of like, ugh. But in a cartoon, being shy, they're always kind of like cute, like blushy, like sweaty, always in an anime. It is definitely not the same emotion that we experience in real life. Why is everybody randomly singing? You can't marry someone you just met. An interesting thing here is they have very similar, like, concerned facial expressions for very different things. I think they're both asking pretty valid questions. I hate to break it to you. Elsa randomly sings, and Flynn does marry someone he just met. When cartoon characters get hit on the head. This is so true, and I'm so grateful in real life this doesn't happen. That would be embarrassing. You'd have like a unicorn horn on your head. It looks very painful. It looks even more painful than in real life. I guess they gotta make everything more dramatic for the show. I'm trying to make the logic make sense, but literally, we're working our way all the way up to 100, so it's gonna get even crazier. All right, so we have Adventure Time. Light this for me, will ya? Oh, sure. Do we need a torch? I'm sorta made of fire. That's valid. See, she corrects the logic here. She's able to say this doesn't make sense. Maybe he's shy. Maybe he has a crush on her and he doesn't want to have to follow her everywhere because she makes him nervous. The crab on the left looks terrifying. First of all, he has more legs than Mr. Krabs, for one. The eyes are standing correctly, but his body looks a little different. And that crab on the left does not look smiley or like he would ever wear blue jeans. Then we have the whale on the bottom. She's able to somehow be a cheerleader, even though in real life they just have to swim like this. She does have a large snout, which makes sense, but I don't think she would actually survive underwater. How broccoli actually tastes. How cartoons portray its taste. Yes, that's true. Also with spinach, except for Popeye the Sailor Man. Spinach, anything green in a vegetable typically makes people in cartoons go like, bleh. But in real life, it's really not that bad. Eat your veggies. Friend. Front-facing cartoon characters do not exist. They cannot hurt you. Front-facing cartoon characters. I am terrified. First of all, this guy, I do not want to ever see this again. Why would the fish look like that? And then Phineas's head is a literal diamond shape, which is kind of cool and also very disturbing. That's why I guess you always see them at a profile. Of course you need a complete female disguise when you have to make your voice heard through a tiny hole. Maybe make the hole smaller. For one. So if you're trying to pretend to be somebody else, like they definitely can look through here and see you. So maybe that's why the disguise is made, but they went a little hard. The eyelashes, the bow with the hat, the grapes, like this seems a little over the top to me, and it really doesn't seem necessary. Back in the day, they didn't have all the technology and ability to make cartoons that we do now, yet now they're way more simple. I don't know, I like the characters above because they have more personality, they're more unique. Why have we lost this? Cartoon movie. I have always wondered this as well. Why in movies do the characters seem 3D? Like there's a shade, there's shadow. You can see his true form. His chin is more defined. But in the cartoon, he's just flat. That doesn't make sense. Sandy whistling with her fingers while her helmet's on. That's actually wild. Why have I never noticed this? So I guess her hand is able to go through the glass helmet into her mouth and you're able to hear the sound. This is the craziest one we've seen yet because I know you can hear her whistle too in the show. That makes no sense. Why have I never noticed this before? Also, can you whistle underwater in general? Probably not. You can't hold nor lift fire. Fire is not a solid mass. Charizard's able to touch the fire because they're like a fire dragon, right? That looks like a fireball, but people tend to like those in cartoons. I've seen many fireballs, not in real life. Japan, let's make our cartoon characters pretty and cute. US, make our cartoon characters the ugliest beings to ever exist. Here's the thing, hot take, I agree. I feel like anime characters are almost always adorable. They also have like beautiful eyes, cute makeup, and then that is terrifying. But I feel a little mean saying that. Like, no harm, no meanness to this man on the right, but not that it's all about looks. Be you. It doesn't matter what you look like. You're beautiful and I love you. But there is a dramatic difference here. Bus pass. Name Arnold. Born, yes. Obviously, who's born? Many years ago, because as you can see, he looks like an adult. He's probably like 12. Maybe the people who created the card want him to remain mysterious. They don't want you to know his actual birthday. How is there gonna be less logic than this? Are we getting close to level 100? Yeah, so in cartoons, typically I feel like wolves, they look adorable, like you wanna pet them. In Minecraft, they're cute, like you wanna cuddle them. But in movies, they're always terrifying. They're gonna eat you, they're scary, they're growling. There does seem to be a disconnect here. Yeah, let's just ignore the fact that Flats the Flounder already knows how to drive, even though he just started attending boating school. Some people were just born naturally with talent. And I guess Flats the Flounder has 2 eyes in the front of his head, so how does he look both ways before crossing the street? Actually, that is really concerning. If you're driving and you can only see here, that just seems unsafe. Why is SpongeBob running in a trash can, by the way? This just, yeah, there's a lot to be asked about this photo. Came from another planet, speaks perfect English. Creators would have had to create a whole new language for her to sound like she's from another planet, and this is a lot easier to understand, but yeah, definitely that doesn't make sense. I mean, you can go to different countries and a lot of us don't speak the same language. So you definitely think a planet would not speak the same language. The logic in this scene makes no sense. That's concerning. They're like flat, they kind of look like a deflated balloon. How did they get into this situation? And this doesn't make sense. Also, they have the tiniest legs compared to their body. How it probably happened. Bob the animator. Okay, so there's gonna be a broken piece of a sign that says KL on it. Can you draw that? Frank the animator, yeah, sure. How's this look? Yeah, so like they could have put the K and the L like not crooked that way. Like you only had one job and it was to write 2 letters. Why'd you have to do it upside down and make it confusing? And Velma at least has her glasses on so she can finally read, and you've made it more difficult for her. The outside of cartoon houses versus the inside. There is a show called Out of the Box, and they would go in a cardboard box and then literally it was a mansion inside. I used to believe it. I kind of like a little bit of the cartoon magic, I won't lie, but this is so true. SpongeBob, Pikachu, Homer. Okay, so we're combining SpongeBob, Pokemon and The Simpsons all together. And I don't want to see this. I never want to see SpongeBob with Homer's face on it ever again. This is going to haunt my dreams. But now, through level 100 for all the marbles, cartoon logic, the wheel hasn't been invented yet. How is any of this happening? The wheel hasn't been invented yet. This kind of looks like a wheel. That looks so painful to pedal without shoes on. And how is this bike biking with square wheels? All of this looks uncomfy. None of this makes sense, but it does make sense if you click one of the next 2 videos. Have a blessed day. Let me know if you want me to react to more cartoon.